There's a quiet experience shared by millions of people that rarely gets talked about honestly. Growing up without a father. Not in a dramatic way. Not always through abandonment. Sometimes through absence, distance, emotional unavailability, death, or silence. And while childhood eventually ends, psychology shows that the effects of father absence don't always stop there. They often echo through adulthood. First, an important clarification. Growing up without a father does not doom someone to failure. It does not mean they will be broken. Human beings are resilient. But resilience doesn't mean unchanged. It means adaptation. One of the earliest effects is how safety is internalized. When that protective presence is missing, children often learn one of two lessons. Either, I have to protect myself, or I have to keep things under control so nothing falls apart. This can grow into hyper-independence in adulthood. People who grew up without a father often struggle to rely on others. Not because they don't want connection, but because needing someone once felt unsafe. They learn early that consistency can disappear. So they become self-sufficient, sometimes impressively so. But hyper-independence comes with a cost. It can make closeness feel uncomfortable. It can make asking for help feel like weakness. It turns vulnerability into anxiety. Another long-term effect involves identity formation. Psychologists emphasize that children don't just learn who they are. They learn who they are allowed to be. For boys, father absence can affect how masculinity is internalized. Without a consistent role model, they may struggle to define strength. Some overcompensate by becoming emotionally closed off. Others feel unsure of themselves, constantly questioning whether they're enough. For girls, father absence often shapes expectations around male attention. Research shows they are more likely to associate love with inconsistency. They may unconsciously seek approval, reassurance, or emotional intensity, not because they're insecure, but because they learned love can disappear. This doesn't mean everyone follows the same path, but the pattern exists often enough that psychology takes it seriously. Another major area affected is emotional regulation. Children learn how to process emotions by watching adults manage theirs. When a father is absent, especially without explanation, children are often left with unresolved emotional questions. Why did he leave? Was it my fault? Could it happen again? Even when these questions are never spoken aloud, the nervous system remembers them. As adults, this can show up as heightened sensitivity to rejection, a deep fear of abandonment, or difficulty trusting that people will stay. Some people respond by becoming emotionally distant. Others become emotionally vigilant, always scanning for signs that something is about to go wrong. Psychology also highlights the effect on authority. Fathers often represent the first experience of authority outside of nurturing. When that presence is inconsistent, some children grow up struggling with confidence in leadership roles or rebelling strongly against authority figures. Others internalize a sense of invisibility. They feel unseen, and that feeling doesn't always disappear with success. It lingers quietly. Now here's the part that matters most. The goal of understanding these effects is not blame. Not every absent father chose to leave. Not every present father was emotionally available. And many single-parent households raised deeply healthy, secure adults. What matters psychologically is not perfection, it's repair. People begin healing when they recognize this truth. The behaviors they developed were not flaws. They were intelligent adaptations. Hyper-independence once kept them safe. But what protected you as a child may limit you as an adult. Healing begins when adaptation turns into choice. When independence becomes interdependence. When strength includes softness. When trust becomes something you practice. Psychology shows that reparenting, providing yourself with consistency, can dramatically reduce the long-term impact of father absence. So can mentorship. So can therapy. So can building relationships that are slow, stable, and predictable. Growing up without a father changes you, but it does not define the ceiling of who you can become. The most powerful moment is realizing, I am choosing. Understanding your past isn't about reliving it. It's about no longer letting it run your future.